Hello, my name is Mayola Medina and I am going to be presenting to you phonemic segmentation. What is the history of phonemic segmentation? Phonemic segmentation rose to educational promise in 1950s and 60s with the growth of reading instruction research. It became a core element of phonetic-based instruction, emphasizing that learners must recognize individual sound within words to decode and spell effectively. Pioneering work by researchers like Jean Chal and later National Reading Panel reinforced the importance of teaching phonemic awareness, especially segmentation, as a predictor of successful reader skills. Today, phonemic segmentation is recognized as a foundational skill in early literacy programs worldwide, a key component of phonological awareness. Research continues to explore its cognitive underpinnings and how best to support learners with difficulties in processing phonemes. In summary, phonemic segmentation evolved from early 20th century linguistic theory on phonemes to become a central concept in reading education and cognitive linguistics, reflecting its deep historical roots and ongoing relevance in language learning and literacy development. And here we have a picture of the the pioneer who worked very hard to recognize phonemic segmentation, who is Jean Chal. What is phonemic segmentation? Okay, the meaning of phonemic segmentation is the skill of breaking down words into smallest unit of sounds or phonemes. This skill is essential for literacy and it helps students decode, spell, and understand the relationship between sounds and letters. Why is it important for us to know more about phonemic segmentation? Well, phonemic segmentation supports early literacy by forming a bridge between spoken and written language. This skill is applied in two main processes: decoding for reading and encoding for spelling. When a child learns to read, they use segmentation to sound out unfamiliar words that encounter in a text, but breaking a printed word into its individual sound. They can then blend those sounds back together to pronounce the word. For example, when seeing the word ship, a child with segmentation skill can isolate the sound sh, e, and p. Recognizing these sounds allow them to connect them to the corresponding letter and sound combination. This ability to decode printing words is a large part of becoming a fluent reader. Without it, a child may guess words based on visual cues and less reliable strategies. There are two main types of phonemic segmentation. One is the oral segmentation. This is when students hear the word and identify and split the words verbally. For example, they hear the word cat and they will say the sound k, a, t by chopping, clapping, or even by jumping. The next one is the writing segmentation, in which the students write the letter that represents each phoneme while he or she says. This can involve elkoning boxes or notebook. Examples of phonemic segmentation. Here we have an example, a simple example. The first one is dog. The child will hear dog. And she or he will do D or G, realizing that it has three phonemes, three sounds. The beginning is the D. The beginning sound is D. The middle sound is the O. And the ending sound is the G. They have to learn the sequence as well so that they learn it good. They have to practice it. The next example is like bow. Bow. They have to stretch it. And we ask them, how many sounds do you hear? Bow. How much? B and O. So they will clap B, O. 2 times. The same thing with sheep. Sh, E, P. 3 different sounds. That is how they learn to segment a word. Applying phonemic segmentation in class. How do we apply it in class? Every day we do different activities, especially in Infant 1. We do phonemic segmentation by putting little balls of Play-Doh. And when they hear the word, for example, cat, dog, mat, any CVC letter, consonant, vowel, consonant word, they're going to be touching each ball. So if they hear a cat, they will press the first ball, k, the second little Play-Doh ball, a, and the third, t. And we would ask, how many sounds does the word cat has? They're going to say 3, or they're going to say cat, cat. The next one will be the Elkoning box. We use it a lot. And for each sound, you move one of those little circles there. So they're going to be moving. The next one shown in the picture is when we let them to stand up or sit down or dance, but we use this is especially for kinesthetic students so that they can learn it. For every sound they're going to clap or they're going to chop, or they can do different movements as well. And the third one is illustrating a little boy writing them. Remember, the big students, they have to spell and they listen, and when they listen to the sound and they write it. So teaching phonemic segmentation effectively involves explicit systematic instructions using multisensory activities that gradually build students' ability to break words into individual sounds, laying a crucial foundation for reading and spelling success. Takeaway on phonemic segmentation. Okay, phonemic segmentation is simply to pull or segment sounds in a word. It is kind of the opposite of blending, where you put it together, that's blending. In segmentation, you separate each sound. It is a key skill in early writing and spelling. Segmenting hand motion is a very useful tool where you have to chop the sounds used to break words into individual sounds. Always make sure to model phonemic segmentation to students with words that are familiar to them. This is very important for you to do, because if they practice with words that they are not familiar, they are not going to be able to do it. So in Infant 1, we use more CVC words. Again, CVC meaning consonant, vowel, consonant, like dog, cap, rug, bag, and so on. And here we have our reference. And thank you very much for your attention. Have a blessed night.